Welcome to the Wandering Inn, where we produce tabletop role-playing and actual play shows for your entertainment. If you find yourself enjoying the show, please take a moment to consider supporting the channel via the Patreon. With that support, we pay the cast, pay for the art and production for our shows, and are hoping to expand the number of shows we bring to you. All of your support is appreciated, and always remember to check the description for links related to the channel and the cast. Hello, mon ami. I am your host Sheepdog, and tonight I'm happy to present to you 4 Minutes, a show led by a magnifique games master 4, and featuring the fine role-playing antics of Tessachka, Canary, Rod Johnston, and myself. You may find the links down below to any of the wonderful people in this production, and I highly encourage you to go and give them a little look. 4 Minutes is a small anthology of different stories that may seem to begin with to be completely unconnected. And, well, maybe they are. Our story presented tonight is called Death Life, and is the final part in the 3-part anthology. So, without any further ado, I present to you for your enjoyment, Death Life. Bienvenue.
While the first tower that you destroyed was guarded by humans, who were easily dispatched by our otter demolitionist, this second tower is guarded by corpses. Specifically, alphas, the queen's infantry, and her armored units, you could say. You could see that the carapace is riddled with scars from previous battles, most of them probably held here along the Potomac River, where the humans are making a last stand to defend their eastern borders until the ocean that leads out into the wider world, which is having its own struggles with the colony. But your struggle is rooted here, on tiny islands where a signal is being sent into the brains of not only these alphas who have been driven insane and homicidal, but to you as well. There are not only the corpses of the huge alpha ants, there are other ants as well. They are walking, they are traversing, they are creating to your little reptile eyes a bridge from one end of this river to the tower. You can see that it is a impressive sight for such tiny little creatures to walk onto the surface of the water, mold together so that others may step across their backs and reach their destination. I don't think you'll be able to do that.
I have wings.
That solves a lot of problems. And you have a bag.
And I have a bag. Wings
Sorry,
in a bag.
Passenger cabin.
Yeah, and like passenger cabin is hands-free, which means could have passenger cabin and an otter.
I'm kind of chonky. I don't know.
Actually, we just said you can swim.
Yeah, I can swim. I don't. Yeah, Rocky doesn't care.
It's the cats.
Yeah, Tex
Probably.
raises a paw and very politely asks, as bearer of the demolition charges needed to complete our mission, I would like a ticket.
Hey, Tex, you could give me that C4 because I don't have any more. I kind of blew up that tower and then I blew up those humans. I don't have any more now. So if you want me to hold on to that, it'd be fine with me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you want to hold on to? You want to hold on to
Yeah.
this?
Yeah,
He,
yeah, yeah.
Shakes it, and he's like, "Okay, go along. Go.
Okay.
I'll let you dive for it."
Dives in the water.
Crawls
Okay,
into
ready.
crawls into the bag. Says, "Fly away, fly!" Before he gets back.
No, Tex.
Is Lilu already in the bag?
Sure. I got in when I saw that was the only method. I didn't say anything. I just looked.
Just jump in.
And then I looked and I immediately, I know what it's like to ride in there. It's nice and cozy and I completely trust Kitty, so. I just
is
didn't
Hopkins
question it.
swimming? I'm assuming Hopkins is swimming.
Are you securing the perimeter?
Yeah. Hopkins will, unless it is mission critical or an emergency,
Not getting in that bag.
will not be getting in the bag.
Okay, Kenny takes off with her respective passengers, which is apparently a cat, a lizard, a translator, and a booklet. And
you can see
starts to fly
Daniel
across.
looking up with longing as you fly away.
He won't fit in the bag.
Wish I could go.
He won't fit.
He won't fit. He could put probably like one paw in.
Part of a paw.
Oh, I'm
couple
trying to.
toe beans.
Yeah, just.
If he does, Lilu will pet his paw. We'll be back soon.
Okay.
just-
Don't fall too far in to whatever the tower does. Okay.
I'll try.
Huffs, and he just sort of sits next to Hopkins, and Daniel sort of looks around apprehensively, and he says, "I'm gonna make sure that no more alphas." And he sort of prowls around. Before you know it, he's gone. This orange beast has disappeared.
Seeing as the others have essentially taken off and headed over, and I think Rocky is also going over the river.
Hey, I'm in the river right now, so I just kind of like waiting, didn't figure out what was gonna happen, but like he's sitting there and like kind of like what, like I'm on my back, like as otters do, floating, going, "No, come back!"
He's like, Ketty, Tex is like, I should drop a grenade. I really should.
Kenny says no. No.
I don't think that's the best idea either.
I wouldn't pull the pin.
But we need
No.
the ammunition, don't we? To fight things and stuff.
Yeah. This is the second tower, so any further north, and we're gonna start seeing some more action.
I don't really know what that means, but it sounds not so good.
If Rocky hadn't blown up those humans, we probably would be fighting more. They would have gotten word to, comrades.
I guess it's good he took care of them then.
Yeah, it's great. He's good at it. All right.
He's good for something, and it is blowing stuff up.
That's true. Ketty, you can drop us off just at that base there of the pile. You know, the ant pile.
Noted. Ketty will swoop down. She's taking the scenic route, not so much because she wants to see the scenery, but because she doesn't want to land and then drop her passengers into something where they immediately, like, I don't know, get blown up or inundated with angry ants or something. And so she will choose her landing area and then start her descent. If anybody sees anything on the way down, hopefully they announce it.
So you can see a lot of ants, not only alphas, but the smaller variety marching some strange duty, some unknown mission, crawling up the tower, appearing to attend to its cleaning.
Ants are weird.
Ants are strange. But yeah, Tex pops out once you find an appropriate place to land.
Can we purify the tower from here? Or do we have to get closer?
I mean, you could probably do it from here. It's just, I think, a matter of perspective on your part. A lot of what the translator does is bring your interpretation of, you know, your communication with the colony into this chemical realm. You might want to get a little closer.
Okay. Can we sneak up to it? They're like cover.
Only the piles of ants.
And all of a sudden, Rocky's going to tackle Tex from behind, be like, you said you were going to give me the C4, and then you didn't give it to me, and then you took off, and I'm all wet, so you're all wet now too, and you start smelling a wet cat, and you're just like, Tex, you said you were going to give me the C4. You didn't give it to me. That was not a nice game, Tex. That was not.
I lied.
Nice. Why'd you lie to me, Tex? I thought we were on the same side. Why'd you lie to me?
Because you're going to waste it.
I'm not going to waste it. I blew up the tower. I blew up those humans. I'm good at.
I'll let you do the last one. It's my turn now. It's my turn. Okay.
Fine.
God, it's like wrangling a kitten. And while this is happening, yeah, it really is. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say like yes.
Like, yeah.
I was just gonna say Rocky is just like Zav.
Yes.
Love it.
And all of this lightheartedness is snuffed out because once you pass across that pile of ant corpses, there are cat corpses right alongside it, lined up against the tower, torn into pieces.
The fact that your cat just walked up to you and we can see tail wagging in the background is
It's very...
The timing was perfect.
The cats, they're all dead.
No,
no, the beans.
Oh my god.
She's mad when I pick her up, and then she just starts purring when I put her down.
There's
Little
one
Zoe.
baby. You can see a leg. That's the baby. I want to bring her here, but then she'll go insane. So it's the other baby.
Understood. Oh, perfectly positioned.
Yeah. I was having trouble because there's no light.
Now, these cats have not been dismembered due to an explosion or any human interference. So this is specifically from the alphas.
How do we know that?
His Tex says almost immediately, oh, they must have gone crazy. See, this is why we need to kill the tower, especially that signal that's going out, because this is what alphas can do when, I guess, they lose the queen.
Do you think the ants and the cats turned on each other?
Oh, no, the ants turned on the cats. I can almost assure you they didn't have a chance in hell. This probably was over in 2 minutes, maybe, if they had to go after, any strays or runaways. And then the ants turned on each other. It's not good.
Well, you should probably start setting up the explosives, and I guess I'll get to work on trying to use the translator.
Yeah. Rocky, this thing looks sturdier than the last one. We need to find a good weak point to make sure it falls down. Preferably not on us.
Yeah, I assume that if you weaken at one side, it will fall that way. So let's weaken the other side so it falls away from us, right?
Generally away from us. And I'm going to need 2 rolls. I need a horror roll from Lilu. Use any fear response that you'd like. And Rocky, I would like a terror roll, because if you mess this up, I just have a surprise for you.
So I can roll anything?
Yes. Any fear response that you think would activate in the anticipation of planting this magnificent bomb.
I mean, it's fight, so yeah. Okay.
I feel like
Holy
this
shit.
might.
Almost failed that, even with 6 of them. Oh.
I love 4 minutes. I love 4-sided dice. That is devastatingly scary. Okay. Well, one disaster foiled. How about the second one?
So I'm trying to figure out which one to roll. I kind of feel like it should be Fawn, because she's very believing right now, and Fawn has performed the role expected of you.
Yeah. You're the
And-
translator.
Yeah, and I only have 1 point in that, so sorry.
You do have ticks, but we can see what happens after you roll. It's just 1.
Oh,
But
I
who
got
cares?
lucky.
But who cares? Who cares?
Okay.
All right.
I was fully expecting that to go so wrong.
one dice, one fall.
That's a critical success if I ever saw one. As Rocky and Tex begin to bicker and collaborate and all around ignore the carnage surrounding them, you have to search for a spot in order to settle yourself down so that you can meditate on the writings of Colonel Yojimbo. And as you... Oh, go ahead.
I think I would ask Teddy to find us a good spot and just to be nearby in
Okay.
case.
Ketty, I guess you said the only cover is like the ant carcasses. Which doesn't. Ketty's a bird of prey. She's eaten grosser things. And has no qualms with like doing the like bird hop up to try to like navigate through these corpses and find a spot that's
I'd like to think that they're still kind of twitching, like they're still going through that insect death throes.
Ketty's not a huge fan of that, but once again, eating weirder things. And she'll keep hopping forward, and then stop and ask Lilu if are we close enough?
I think so. Where's
Okay.
Hopkins right now?
Can Kenny see Hopkins? Did Hopkins even cross the river?
No, he did not
No.
cross the river. Him and Daniel
Oh,
are
okay,
staying behind.
Yes.
He didn't come across.
So then yeah, I think
I have a roll for
Hopkins-
Hopkins, but I'd like to see how you center yourself for this.
Kenny will find a spot that's sort of tucked like between a couple of ant carcasses so that there's a little bit more cover. And then land on a sturdy enough, hopefully, maybe. She's gonna see if there's a sturdy enough portion that she can be a little bit higher. And so that she can have like an eye on what's going on around, and then be able to swoop down to Lilu if necessary.
Perfect.
So we're doing creepy gargoyle, just harpy eagle.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I love it. I feel more secure knowing she's there. And
It's hard to overstate how looming this bird can be.
My brain is not working. I'm sorry. So I think I would just kind of settle on the ground with the book on my lap, kind of cross-legged. And there are carcasses all around me, and this is kind of really disturbing for some reason. I don't even really eat insects all that much. I mostly eat fruit paste. So this is
Yeah,
a little-
usually like when Trish feeds you, usually it's like an insect finds its way in somehow. It's usually like a fruit fly or something.
Yeah, very occasionally. And like if it's coming with the rest of the fruit mash that I normally eat, it's fine. But it's not like a normal thing for me. So I'm definitely uncomfortable. I'm looking around kind of like, and I look up and I see Ketty and I'm like, okay. I just have to focus and purge this tower. And so I sort of sit down, have the book on my lap, and I start thumbing through, and I have the translator like right next to me, kind of like one balanced on one leg, the other balanced on the other leg. And I'll turn to the page with the code just to kind of glance at it again so it's fresh in my mind. And then I'll start trying to use the translator.
For a moment, the oppressive atmosphere, so much death surrounding you, is difficult to shut out. Not only because you can at times hear the little tickling crunch of a forelimb or a mandible settling, you find a tingle beneath the translator helmet. And again, it tightens. Not so much on your skull, but more like onto your thoughts. Until again, you're suddenly swamped by phrases. Phrases that at times are numbers, other times are waves of letters that fold in on themselves, creating new letters.
Can I make any sense of it? I'll be sitting there kind of just like, I'll close my eyes and just try to focus, to try to understand. So much information.
Have you ever seen one of those old school presentations on VHS where it's like, here, we'll show you the helix of your DNA? You kind of begin to fall into a real staticky, noisy rendition of a helix strand being pulled apart and stitched together with what looks like mandibles. And although you can't read what the strand does, it becomes almost elastic after it's been improved. And you can see that you're on a beach once more. The sand is a pale gray. That wave has returned, and once again, it is frozen almost in time, if not for the spray of the ocean and water, the salt that lands on your scales. And as it does, that prickle of wet begins to introduce new concepts to you. You learn in this brief moment a little bit about the history of philosophy and the absurdists and the revolution of science amidst a chaos of church corruption. It's all background noise because the purpose is lost to these animals. You see that the cat is back, much more distinct now than last time you saw. Silver fur, gazing at you with an expression that is empty, but aware that you are here. And you hear his voice say, I grew up on the beach. Me and my owner had a condo. I used to come out here every day.
Are you Colonel Yojimbo? Is that your name?
Yes, it is. And it was. And I left something here for you. I'm trying to give it to you, but you're not right. You're not right. It won't fit.
Well, I'm not a cat. I'm a reptile.
Is that what you are?
Yeah, well, what I was. Now I'm kind of a weird reptile that is bipedal. But still a
No,
reptile.
no, not in this place. In this place, you're indistinct. You're not finished.
Do you know what would finish me?
Emza. When you learn where Emza comes from
How,
and what it is, then you'll be finished.
but how can I learn that? Isn't Emza dangerous?
It's the
Isn't
most
it?
dangerous thing in the world.
How can
It's
I
why the
learn where?
Queen is doing this.
Is it dangerous to the Queen?
Fire erupts from the ocean. You are witnessing the agony that the Queen has witnessed in the memories of countless times. She imparts this memory in all of her daughters. The fire that burns into the tunnels of the misbegotten they had such a pleasant, peaceful, well, peaceful is a relative term. For ants, dominate the landscape. And the field that they had conquered was destroyed. Fire. A fervor that you cannot yet grasp. But you can see the trampling feet of humans in sandals, kicking, screaming, as the fire burns through the dirt, into the tunnels, into the nursery. Children die.
I know what the humans have done is horrible. They killed every one of Rocky's family's members, and they've killed so many ants, they've killed so many animals. But I have to understand, where does Emza come from?
That story ends when they die. But Emza is, when you see his form once again tremble and become frayed, almost like his fur is being stretched by hooks. And he says, Emza comes from a delusion.
Whose delusion?
I suppose anybody can have Emza. I think the reason the Queen is trying to do what she's doing is to control it. To kill the vector.
Don't understand. If anyone can have it, then how do we stop it?
I think that's what we're here for. You and I, the animals. If we can't contract Emza, then I think she can. And that is when his skin is ripped from him, and with it goes his image. And behind that wave is the enormous head of the Queen. And with her mandibles, she reaches out to pluck not only Yojimbo, but you. As Yojimbo's voice resonates in your bones. Death, life, a delusion of what comes after. Death, life. She is blind. The Queen is blind.
What? I don't understand. And I start inputting the code. I don't understand. My head feels like it's exploding. My eyeballs, every part of my being is just kind of on fire. And I'm so confused. And all I'm trying to do is enter this code to get it to stop.
And as you feel like you have been attached to a pulley, almost like a catapult that is about to shoot you out of this beach away into the distant horizon of your body. Yojimbo's skeleton clings to you. It lunges, hissing and screeching in words and feelings, and in two very distinct words: death, life. Life after death.
I don't understand. Is that what she wants to achieve?
Ketty, you can see almost an absurd similarity to the bodies around her that Lilu is trembling and contorting. And just as Tex claps his paws together and he says, "Yes, it is ready," Rocky, this baby is gonna go.
Yeah. I think that right. It makes sense. Like the explosion is gonna push it that way, so I think it's gonna fall that way. I hope. I don't know much about physics, but
it's fine because when it falls, it'll go straight into the river while we go, that way to the other opposite side.
I mean, we're fast. We can
between the river and the tower.
No, it's just I'd rather it fall into the river than it just collapse in on itself.
That was more of a logistics question. Like, aren't Lilu and Ketty between the river and the tower?
And Tex is like, "Oh, you're still here?"
Hey, Ketty, I would take Lilu. I don't think Tex and I we have an idea that this is going to blow up in this way, but we could be wrong. I mean, we've been wrong before. I know blowing things up is good.
We're wrong. Like, it's because you have real slippery paws.
No, we're wrong because you didn't let me plant the C4. If Rocky had planted the C4, it would have been fine. But you had to plant. And you know what, Tex? I think we got it though.
We got it. Okay.
As long as you can blow yourself up, you learn, Tex. You learn.
We learn. Yeah. All right.
It's like the games they used to teach us at the zoo where we would hit boxes, and then if we hit the right box, we get fish. It's kind of like that, but with C4, and boom. It's more
that's
fun
not how. That's not how. No, that's not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that you learn. Like if you learn the right pattern, you learn things. And I learned I got fish, and now I learn and I get to blow things up in the proper direction. That's all it is. It's I'm taking my learning and progressing it.
I'm just trying to knock a big tower of blocks down so it falls one way.
Oh, I know that.
You know what? The ants built it wrong.
I mean, I personally would have built it on a tower of ant corpses, but hey, that's me. I'm just Rocky. Who knows?
I didn't have audio for a while there.
Yeah, I was wondering. Could you hear us?
Yes, I can now.
You just missed Rocky and Tex having their bomb talk.
Yeah, and I told Rocky said I would get out of here, Ketty, take Lilo and go because we think it's gonna fall this way, but neither one of us is like trained per se. So I would go back over with Daniel and Hawkinson, and it'll be safer over there. And
Ketty will hop down from her perch and land next to Lilu, who last she checked was twitching, and try to ruffle her feathers over Lilu's back and see if that gets any kind of response.
Do I like wake up from that?
You do, but while you were doing that, the exit from the translator is probably one of the most harrowing experiences you've had in your short sentient life. And seeing this bird come down next to you, you might not recognize Ketty as Ketty.
I think I would. So everything is still on fire. Like literally, I feel like I'm overheating and I'm just so confused.
I really like you're like infusion of knowledge from like philosophy, like it like poured it like a Picasso painting into your brain. And now everything is just warped, of fluctuating colors.
Where? Who? Oh my god. Giant bird.
Lilu.
What's happening?
Lilu.
Ketty. God, it hurts so much. I think I did it. I don't understand what he keeps trying to tell me. He keeps talking about death and life after death and how that's delusional. My head hurts.
Ketty will lean down, sort of. She's trying to like shimmy down to put the bag next to the lizard.
I don't think you're made to scoop.
Oh, she is not made to scoop. It is the most awkward thing ever, complete with a little bit of fluttering to like not go. Because otherwise this bird would be like eating dirt. She's trying to make it so that the passenger compartment is as close as possible to the very distressed lizard.
I'm gonna see that and I'm just gonna like crawl into it. It smells familiar and it feels warm, like not fiery, but just comfortable warm. And I'm going towards the better temperature. Like I can kind of feel that. And I'm just like, oh, I hurt, but I'm crawling into the bag.
Ketty will try to scoop the, assuming that if Lilu has the translator and the like paperwork that comes with it with her already, she's not gonna try to scoop that in too. If it is not already in there, she's going to try to scoop that with, because it seems kind of important, and then taking off and immediately launch into the air, because she does not want to be anywhere near this thing when it goes boom. So she's heading back the way she came.
Hey, Tex, your ride. Hey, Tex, your ride.
Oh, right.
Tex, are you gonna go? Can you blow it up from the other side of the river, or do you have to be here? If not, you can leave it with me. I'll hit the button. I'll explode.
I'll swim. You already got me wet. Might as well.
That was your fault because you lied to me, and so I had to tackle you. And you're my friend, Tex, so I had to tackle you. I tackle my friends. Whee! And he dives at Tex again.
Oh my god.
Oh, he runs, and he says, I hit the plunger. We got 10 seconds.
Rocky dives in the river too.
Yeah. He says, oh, go underwater. And he goes underwater. Rocky, the explosion makes a satisfying in this underwater heaven that you are in. And you can see above you is this eruption. Hopkins, this eruption has done something and you can see after the tower falls and the island begins its own little silly sort of dive into the river, uh, the island begins to collapse. And you can feel the ground beneath you. I don't know if you've ever, for me, whenever like I graze a horse, I can feel the roots of the grass around where they are eating, being pulled, being tugged. You feel this kind of pulling and tugging beneath your webbed feet.
Yeah.
And I think because of your position in keeping watch, that island seethes with movement. It begins to writhe. And as though a 10-year-old has decided, this day I will be cruel. Ants begin to pour from the disturbed earth. And you could feel the ground pulling. Gaps are now closing. And you feel as though you're about to fall. You need to get out of this area because a sinkhole is forming. Now, for Rocky and Tex, I think they can swim. But where you are, Hopkins, and thankfully Ketty and Lilu, they're in the air. But you and Daniel, the two of you are about to be stranded in a canyon of falling earth that these alphas have dug. They have made a nest of this area. And you don't know how deep that goes.
Okay. Can I at least see them, the team leaving in their
Yes.
individual ways? Okay.
You do.
So I know that they're not like stuck there and, absolutely screwed.
Oh yeah.
Okay. In that case, the second that Hopkins realizes that the ground is starting to either cave in or kind of collapse, it would be an immediate... I was going to say an immediate sprint. I think it'd be even a bit more extreme than that. It would be like a tense, a crouch and a jump.
Ooh, yeah. You want to do a flee?
I think that would probably be the one, yeah. Okay. So I don't have like frog legs, I guess, as like a tick.
That's I see.
Like, would that be something? I guess
It
yeah.
now like you do get like a free tick based on your species, so I definitely think like rules for that specific tick can be like we can sort of elude that you are using your frog legs to get away
Yes.
from the dangerous earth that is falling beneath you.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering there.
So how much do you have in your flee, however?
Just the two, yeah.
Ooh, just 2. Go ahead and roll the 2d4 first, and then we'll see if we need to activate your tick.
I'm guessing we will. There's been some good rolling so far.
You're gonna need that tick.
I'm not sure even the tick would help, would it?
It might. Again,
Oh, true.
new rule with ticks, or rather adapted, or not adapted. This is a plague test.
Yes.
Ticks add a d4 result. So if whatever you roll, you add to your highest d4 here. So in all earnest, you just need to roll a 2, 3, or 4.
What you're saying is I need to not roll
A 1.
I rolled a 2.
All right, and that would add to a 4. Well done. But this will exhaust your froggy reflexes, your toady reflexes, your amphibious bounds and leaps. And as you begin to take advantage of the foliage around you, you are startled to feel a very violent sense of vertigo as trees that were once stable suddenly collapse. And you can hear the heavy footfalls of several 100-pound tiger running. And as you do this, you leap higher and higher, trying to gain, resistance to, what is it, ground sea level or something like that? I forget what that's called. Sea level, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see that this nest that the alphas have dug goes on for miles. Almost like a collapsed lung. You could see the arteries of their tunnels in this big slab of land behind you. And there are shapes moving out from that earth. A boiling tide of ants. Not alphas. For now. And although that signal is gone, you can't be certain whether or not these ants are indeed friendly to you.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if I can get, if just like from the view I get, if I get any impression of their state, like aggressive or...
Have you ever kicked an anthill?
Yeah, I also feel like I'm not going to be analyzing their mental state as I'm running away from collapsing ground, so... yeah, no,
They are frenzied.
Okay.
But I will go ahead and say all of you are able to get away and regroup. Lilu especially needs a break. Yeah, Hopkins, you can see that she has...
Like wobbly.
Yeah.
I kind of, when Ketty lands, I kind of spill out of the bag. Like literally, I fall out of it, and I just kind of stay where I am, kind of sitting on the ground, trying to gather myself.
Daniel rushes up on all fours, and then he crouches on 2 legs, and his big front paws just sort of like hover over you. He's like, Lilu, who are you? Oh, your head blow up?
Kind of, yeah. There's so much information, and none of it makes any sense. Think we did it? I think we did it though. Hopefully the queen will be happy.
You did good, Lilu. You did good. You did good. And then Rocky gives Lilu a hug, but it's like overly like he's kind of over enthusiastic as he always is, and he's like, it might be squeezing her a little too hard.
I just kind of like all of the breath escapes me for a second. And then you can kind of see my like tail twitch a little.
Oh no, I'm
Any-
squishy. Sorry, Lilo.
Gentle.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do. I get a little. I'm not used to giving hugs, but yeah. I'm sorry, Lilo.
You're awesome. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go lay down over there, and I just kind of like literally, like I think I meant farther away, but I walk like 2 steps and then just like lay down.
Yeah, those 2 steps feel like a great leap for lizard kind.
Yeah. I just close my eyes because my head is just splitting in half.
Hopkins Tex comes over and gives you a thumbs up, and he says, "Oh, I'm glad you didn't get." And he just looks over to the boiling earth behind you. Says, "Well, you can only imagine, I guess, what would have happened if you fell in there." Ugh.
Yes, I'm assuming that mission went without too much
A hitch. Oh. Lilu's starting to take a little bit of a strain, it seems, but that only serves to prove that it's working. Signal's being destroyed. And we haven't seen hell or high heaven of that other cat.
Tex, what is the normal recovery time for using that device? How
Your
often
experience.
should it be used?
Well, if you're experienced like cul-de-sac, you could probably use it for twice in an hour. At the rate Lilu's doing it, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
But we only have one more, yes?
That's correct. One more.
And should we be expecting similar things as to what happened here?
We're close to the front lines, or whatever lines humans are making these days. I'd say we might have a bit of an issue, but perfectly honest, I think we're about to enter a dead land. This place is Emza-ridden, alpha-frenzied kill zone. So it's possible we might have nothing. It's also possible we might have a ton of enemies. But I don't think that's going to stop Rocky. You see how active he is.
Yes.
And Daniels, he hasn't had to kill an alpha yet.
We've also seen Kenny more as lizard tender than fighting stuff. So.
Well, except for that crab.
Yeah, you know.
Damn flying
The crab with a rocket.
As long as she can pull through, get that code on the 3rd tower, we blow it, We go home. Well, you go home. I go to war. Is this too complicated?
No, it is not too complicated. However, the intel we have is uncertain at best.
Well, we do have a scout. Do you want to send the Ketty out to take a look around?
Ketty.
Ketty, would you be willing to have a quick recon of the third tower, see how close you can get and what you can see while Lilu is resting?
He nods, but doesn't really do anything else aside from attempt to make eye contact with Daniel and cut her head toward the lizard.
Oh. Yeah. And he sort of tries to make a little wave motion with his paw.
That done, Ketty will jump.
What sort of fear response would you like to use? Because as you enter into the sky once more, you can see actually the third tower is not that far away.
Not sure I like that.
Given you now understand the threats that live in this airspace and the possible dangers that lie on the ground for your friends, it may influence what sort of response your character's fear will take. It could be fun in that you are fulfilling your role as Tex describes it, scout. You're keeping an eye out for danger. Or you could take a more active role, fight, train instead to clear danger. Flee, of course. Ooh.
Is most likely to view her role more as protector, so clearing danger is far more accurate for her than most other things. So we will fight. That's right, yeah. We'll see if the dice like me today. Yes, they do.
A lot of single fours being rolled. Okay. Third tower. That eruption at the second has created a different landscape than you saw before. There are a lot of new hills, up and down, disturbed earth, fallen trees, but the river is the same. However, the third tower sits at a crest where the water is low and easily splashable. However, you could see along its perimeter are figures walking on two legs. Not human, because they have tails and their ears perk up as you fly over. So they must have heard something, but then they return to an aimless sort of march. Around the tower, in a spiral, almost. And you can also see behind where the second tower was, is a burst, almost like a pustule coming out of the ball of ants. This mass suddenly almost gives birth to a large alpha. She rises. She quests for the tower, sees that it is gone. You see those antennae, almost like eyes darting around or nostrils flaring, begin to track the new sense. And with one mind, even less than one mind, for alphas do not think the way you do. It begins to trudge in one direction, while the cats around the tower go around and around and around.
On seeing all of this, Ketty takes the long way back again, since it has she has noticed that some things are looking up now, and she's not a huge fan of that. And so she will try to number one, use the updrafts as much as possible. So all she has to do is adjust her feathers rather than doing any actual noise-making flaps.
Yeah. That and the motion of it would, even on a night like this, would possibly catch keen eyes of cats.
No, thank you. The cats can keep their eyes to themselves. She, after getting back out around, will cut lower so that if at all possible, she wants to stay out of sight all the way back to her collected group who are also on this mission.
Yeah.
After confirming that she doesn't have anything following her.
Very good. That would be a great twist if you failed. No, nothing follows you. You don't appear to have been noticed. Thankfully, the ant doesn't really have the senses to notice something following her.
Okay. Then Kitty will come back for a landing with the others and report it's particularly the emergence of the alpha and the fact that it looks like that one is trying to track, because that seems particularly important. Because some of us went over land, but some went over water, some went over air. But at some point, everybody was on the ground. So even if we flew, they probably would be able to eventually catch a scent. And that there's a lot of cats up ahead. Text.
That must be remnants of the army that were stationed here to guard the towers. Humans gave them Mensa, I expect.
So they're fighting for the humans because of the Mensa?
No, they're insane. And they're suffering.
But why are they? It sounds like they're on patrol. Like they're working with the humans.
They looked like they were patrolling.
If they're
going
patrolling,
round and round and round.
that's not good. if they are working for humans, and there are some despicable animals who do, mostly chokers. I think it's
What's a choker?
well, a choker was a animal that the humans have enslaved. They put collars on them. They take off their bits, Rocky,
Oh.
so that they can't, build families,
You
so
see
that they're
Rocky, like,
easier to manage.
Rocky covers up his like junk. Like, no.
See,
No.
that's why we gotta do this. We gotta make sure we drive the humans all the way back away from the coastline. But these cats, man, I really hope they're not working with the humans. I really hope this is just Emza making them act weird.
I'll blow them up. If they're working with humans, they deserve to be blown up too. I don't want to blow up other animals. If you're working with humans, boom.
This Hopkins, I'm gonna put my reservations to the side. I can probably run up there, get the C4 planted, and all that good stuff. I don't know about what'll happen to me if any of these animals scratch me, bite me, whatever.
I told you I would do it. Dax, this is the last one. You said I could do it. You can stay away from the other cats. That I don't want you to get sick too. But I don't know what it would do to us otters, but it seems like cats are the worst. So just give me the C4 and I'll do it.
You want to roll a fear response to try to convince him?
Sure. I mean, it's fight. It's always fight with Rocky, and he's got the most dice there. Wow, that was a lot of fours.
That is a lot of fours.
That's 4 4s.
Yeah.
4 4s, 4 4.
4 4s for 4.
Rocky, that's smart.
Yeah.
I think you've gotten enough experience to plant this one on your own.
Yeah.
However, I don't know. Something doesn't sit well with me because we still have to erase the signal.
That's not my worry. Lilu will do that.
Can you do it, Lilu?
I don't know, but I think I have to try, don't I?
I don't think you have to try. I think you just need to do it. Do it or die. That's what this war is about.
He's gonna give you or give Tex a unfriendly look.
Ooh, are
Unfriendly.
you, oh, Lilu, are you feeling the feeling of dislike?
I don't think I understand what it is I'm feeling, but I feel very differently towards Tex than I do towards Rocky, for example, and Ketty, and even Hopkins. Hopkins and I are both kind of cold-blooded-ish, and still, I trust his judgment. I don't think I trust Tex anymore. And as I realize this, I'm just not sure I trust this whole mission anymore. But I don't say that.
Interesting.
I just
Text
kind of,
can.
yeah, I just kind of shake my head and go sit a little further away and try to read the book some more and see if I can glean anything helpful from it.
Do you want to make a roll?
Sure.
All right. Either a freeze or a fawn, because you're definitely studying.
Yeah, I think freeze is really appropriate for this because I'm kind of I'm freaked out by the fact that I suddenly don't know if what we're doing is right, and I don't really trust the person that's telling us what to do.
That doesn't
And
feel like a fawn.
yeah, that's definitely a freeze. I mean, become numb,
Yeah, I think a freeze.
contemplate the
Oh.
creeping threat.
It's like
and
when
search
someone-
for
it's-
weaknesses.
It's like when your parent yells at you, but you don't know why. So you just like go, huh, what'd I do?
Yeah. And I literally like become a little bit numb. Like all of these emotions, all of this confusion, I don't like it at all. Like part of me wants to go back to before I had emotions at all. And so I just sit and I can't stop thinking about it. So I'm searching through this book for any kind of helpful anything, and I'm just trying not to think about the feelings because they're not good. So yeah.
Okay. Friendly Yojimbo makes a lot of notes about sort of how to navigate the space that the queen communicates with within the colony and within the translator. It is difficult to ask direct questions. So therefore, you have to take an almost spiraling... Oh! Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopkins.
Hmm.
Tex approaches you, and I guess we're all sort of around here, and he essentially comes up with a plan. He says, okay, we get Ketty and Lulu ready to drop down, purge that tower.
Mm-hmm.
You, Rocky, and I need to get through whatever the heck these guys are doing. These cats. We also need to make sure that Alpha doesn't come, interrupt whatever's going on, whether that's Lilu, in case she has trouble formulating, a good thought, or Rocky, because he's too excited to plant C4 correctly. So I'm saying maybe put Daniel to take care of these cats, or put Daniel to take care of that Alpha, if he can. But I'm gonna let you make that call.
Won't sending Daniel in put him at risk of Emsa and death?
Well, I'm more at risk because whatever strain of Emsa is here is affecting a lot of the cats that are in the army. That's what we know about this particular strain.
Daniel is a cat.
Daniel's a tiger. That's several families removed from regular cat. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I don't like this.
If we are having Danielle engage one of the options, I would say, given what we have seen already, he should be the one to take on the Alpha, yes?
What obvious? He doesn't. He's like, Why don't I do both?
Hmm. It could take a while with you having to do both objectives, both parts. And it would also run the risk of you being surrounded.
I don't like that.
So,
I can fight Ant if you make sure Lilo is safe. And he sort of turns to Ketty. Like,
then in that case, we'll take the rest.
All right. Cool. Rocky, you gotta get up there, plant that C4, just ignore everything else. Me and Hopkins will take care of any, anybody that might interrupt us.
Got it.
Ketty,
Wanna
do you
blow
think
it
you
up.
can actually land on the tower? Can you actually just stand there on the tippy top? So,
Ketty.
Lilu,
Eyes up the tower. Looks like a tree.
it'd be great if, like a tree, it could just fall over if, big birds sat on top of it, but I don't know. This thing's
I don't think it'll work quite that well, but I can probably sit on it.
all right. I think that's a workable plan.
Katie, did the cats have guns? Did the cats have guns?
They did.
Did they count? They did.
They did.
The cats had guns.
I would be careful because you're getting pretty close then, and even if they're crazy, they have guns.
What color is the tower?
The tower is a ruddy, patch of gray metal and slathered with a clay substance to keep it all together. It is a strange conglomeration of metal parts and earthworks.
Have you ever seen an owl camouflage itself into a tree?
No.
So, for same general patterning as I've seen videos of owls doing it, which is why I'm referencing it. So if you've never seen an owl camouflage itself into a tree, look it up. It's real cool. But basically, shifting feathers. That's why I wanted to know what color it is, because Kenny's gray. Theoretically, I might be able to fly up to it and attempt to blend in with the tower itself.
Oh, okay. So I feel like at this point, we're discussing roles. We're discussing what sort of fear responses each character is going to be doing. That sounds like a fawn for you, Ketty.
Great.
Rocky, you are once again trying to set C4, but you're being explicitly told that is your only concern. So how are you going to use your fear responses?
I think it's Fawn. I mean, it's the whole everyone's expecting it of me, even though it's his usual, which is gonna be real bad because he only has one dice for that. But
Peer
I would like to argue.
Okay, go.
No. I want to argue about Fawn.
Oh.
Because I think that technically a freeze response would be more accurate, because it's not about it's not about supporting the tower. It's about freezing next to it and waiting to respond to another threat.
I'm also of that mind now, because you're not only like freezing literally, you're keeping an eye out for when one of those cats finally notices and points something at you that goes bang. And you have a passenger.
Yes. So yeah, I argue that it is a freeze response, rather than a fawn response.
I accept this.
Okay. I
Okay.
appreciate this because I have 0 fawn.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use my tick, my otter chaos tick, because I got a 3. So
You rolled and you didn't tell me.
yeah. Well, I mean, we were talking about it, and so I decided.
Honestly, I kind of love just roll, just dive in. We'll decide. And your outer chaos, this will bump it up to a 4.
Yep.
No matter what, it's just how much bloat do we get?
Exactly,
Yeah.
because there is opposition here.
Oh,
That's not okay. So
No bloat.
unfortunately, no bloat, which means the change still has a maximum amount of presence in this scene. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you the change still has 4 presence in the cat that Hopkins failed to kill. It's going to split the remaining 4 between the alpha and the cats that are spiraling around the tower. Hopkins, you and Tex have an agreement on, yeah. But how are you going to ensure this continues in such a fashion? Oh, and by the way, you can reduce the presence by rolling more than 1 4.
Okay.
Or bloating a 4.
So for ensuring
Ooh.
for ensuring that I need a clarification.
Yes.
Are you talking about the mission or are you talking about Tex? In terms of making sure that it stays on track and doesn't go wrong.
Tex is going to help you keep the cats away from Rocky and Ketty. Lilu, I imagine I know what you're going to be doing. You're going to be activating the translator and diving in.
Eddie is going to be standing very still.
In that case, Tex, do we have spare explosive?
Only the ones that Ketty has.
I'm not completely convinced that our current weapons would do a decent job of holding someone off. Or multiple someones off.
Well, what I can do is, thankfully, I'm a little bit more equipped for, combat. If you want, you can take your squishy self and set it over here, and I'll give you my gun and my ammunition, and you can support me as I rip and tear and all that good stuff. Also, I have a knife. He pulls out a knife, so I guess I'll just stab them to death.
Do you believe that you can deal with this yourself?
Well, I'm asking you to kill with me.
In the supporting role.
I'd like to think I draw them out, and you're a good enough shot, hopefully. This bird go.
The bird does not go. That was out of character. My apologies.
I'm glad to hear that.
I think this is probably the best option, as I have neither explosives or anything that would be more heavily suppressive.
Then what are you going to roll for your fear response?
Oh, so the most obvious one is fight.
Clearly.
However, I do kind of feel like fawn could possibly work. As in this instance, I feel like I am essentially, as it says, performing the role expected of me.
And that role is that of a soldier?
That of a soldier. Well, I'm essentially a fire support team. Or fire support.
Alright.
So,
What is your fawn?
3.
3. Go ahead and roll.
Could I use one of my ticks?
Which one?
Camouflage.
Everybody's camouflaging.
My thought is that in a fire support role, it is useful to not have the enemy know where you are, so they cannot respond accordingly.
I agree. When firearms are involved, this is a critical point to observe.
Not being
If they
seen
cannot
is
see,
great.
yeah. And then you'll use your tick after you roll those 3d4, correct?
Yes. Okay.
And Ketty, have you rolled yet? I don't think so.
No, I have not.
Lord. It's been a while since we've had sheepy dice like this. Okay.
All right. Well, you got a 3, so it's possible you'll get enough bloat from this to defeat the horde, as it were.
Let's hope so. 3. That would be 6 on the 3.
Yeah, plus
That would be 6. You just need one of the one 4 to succeed. This creates that 4, and then you get 2 over, which means that that attacks the presence directly. So you're going to be able to turn this firearm that you have been given, this unwieldy. You're a toad. This is a gun for people. You get into position, and you see Tex creeping forward, ready for... By the way, all of this is preambled by Rocky's epic charge.
Right.
And I think the last one we need is Ketty, because...
Kitty is invisible.
Ketty, do you have... Now, you can use a tick to further bloat your 4s. However, this will require initiative on your part, because while you see... During the scene, you're going to be able to see the carnage before you as Tux and Hopkins create a gap for Rocky to charge through. There's more to this than it seems, and you can use a bloat to do damage to one of the presences that are here. If you want. If you can find a way to use a tick, because not all ticks Because we do have that cat who is the false Yojimbo. And we have the alpha that Daniel is currently holding off.
One of Ketty's ticks is literally called bird's eye view and tied to freeze.
Now, the false Yojimbo has a presence of 4, so if you roll a 4 on this, you might just go ahead and sweep me away immediately.
We shall see. No.
All right. You got 2 4s. One of those will be bloated to 5. So technically, you're going to do 2 presence damage to the false Yojimbo, leaving 2 left. 2 for the alpha, 2 for the false Yojimbo. Before we get to Lilu, the battle that these roles have encapsulated is a frantic and obscenely fast affair. Hopkins, the firearm that you are, I guess, tangentially aware of its mechanisms is an effective killing machine. And as you begin to open fire on the various soldiers that Tex is beginning to wrestle with and stab into, it's clear from their appearance, from their ragged fur, from the foam around their nostrils, from the blood in their ears, and the frayed, bald tails that have been chewed to ribbons. These are not cats in their right mind. And even when you shoot them, they do not get immediately killed. They writhe on the ground. They begin to babble. They call for commands. They call for reinforcements. They call for their parents, their owners. And thankfully, you can silence these with another volley. Rocky, you ignore all this as you charge forward, and already you have the steps that you have memorized in order to ensure that this tower falls. The only problem is that you have to time this perfectly with Lilu, who is doing something that does not work mathematically. Ketty. During this chaos, you land. You begin to shift your feathers into a pattern that will keep you concealed, and more importantly, it will keep the pouch that you have very precious cargo in concealed. Your perch gives a metallic bend as you land, and as you peer over this battlefield that is erupting around you, you see that there is a cat distinct from the rest. A fluffy, scraggly, and oddly graceful in his approach to the tower.
Oddly sane.
Oddly sane. And you see in his paws a handgun and a translator.
Oh.
And he is approaching Tex, who has not noticed him. But you have noticed.
Do we still have radios?
Yes.
And has Lulu put the, like, started the thing yet?
Did you
Uh,
agree that once you landed, Lilu would begin the translation?
Sure.
I don't think so, but sure. Let's just retroactively do that.
Yeah. Lilu, what fear response are you going to use? Your opinion on this has changed somewhat, right?
Yeah. Good question. I mean, fawn definitely doesn't work anymore.
Because Tex, he's a jerk.
Yeah. Basically, and just all of it has been so painful and so confusing, and she just doesn't like. I don't understand. So I think I'm still on freeze, to be honest, because all of the emotions that this is causing, even like dislike or distrust of Tex, and even caring for everyone else in any small way, it's just a lot. And so I feel like as Lilu, I just withdraw a little bit, and freeze feels accurate. So
Give us a freeze.
okay.
No, there are no 4s there. Do you want to use a tick? Because I was going to inflict horror upon you with this. Do you have any pain on your death life right now? I think I gave you one at some point.
You
No,
gave
that was
Kenny
that
one.
was for Ketty. That was for Ketty.
That was
Yeah,
Ketty.
for Ketty.
Do you my I can do that.
I do have ticks I can use, but I kind of want you to do the horror thing. So
Okay.
just do the horror thing, and I'll save
Alright.
the tick for later if I need it.
I will name this pain that you will undertake after you talk to Yojimbo. Again, you are drawn into a cacophony of sensory deprivation, and at the same time, it is an overload of your senses until you're at the beach once more, except it is filled with sandcastles. And the cat that you recognize as Colonel Yojimbo, the one and the only, is scampering playfully between these castles that he has built because he's holding a little shovel, and he sort of looks back at this faded figure that, like he once was, is a shape of the past, a small child, human.
Wait, so Colonel Yojimbo is there, but there's also a human.
Yes. And he is almost playfully just sort of like going from castle to castle, making sure it's like perfect. And there are like those castle sets that you can make like really good, like multi-tiered castles with. And he looks up and seems surprised, and he says, "Oh, that's right. This is my interface. That's why we're not in a tank right now. Because that's the only world that you knew."
Yeah. Is this Colonel Yojimbo
Yes.
talking?
Yeah. It looks like the little human child is just insubstantial. They're not even like walking or moving. Just sort of there.
Yeah, so this is how you grew up?
I think so. This is how I'm trying to be myself. I'm trying to preserve myself.
So
The
you were.
queen doesn't like that.
She just wants everyone to be like her and think like her. And
I think that's exactly what she wants, but I mean, you've seen her mind. It's centuries old. Nobody can think like her. She must be so lonely.
why does the queen keep going? Everything
in her-
ends. Why doesn't she?
Because it's what her mother told her to do. When the humans destroyed their home, she was given almost a prophecy. She's been living in that prophecy forever. For as long as she's been the queen.
What was the prophecy?
Allow me to open the holy book. The first chemical signal the great Hymenoptera received from her mother was this. You will avenge our people by the light of your wisdom and the darkness of your heart. You will travel beyond the sands and beyond the seas. You will build cities and topple mountains. You will never forget the scent of your clan. You will grasp the world in your jaws, while the beasts on 2 feet bang the earth and shout to the skies. You will lie in wait for the savages. Though their fire will burn you and their weapons will smite you, you will rise. You will rise. And then the rivers will flow toward you. The hills will bow to you. The sun will revolve around you. The creatures of the earth will worship you. The winds will push you forward. You will rise. You will rise. And for each of the alphas that she births, she infuses this into them. That is
So-
why she lives.
But then wouldn't every alpha think they need to rise? They
Oh,
can't
well,
all rise, can they?
if she's the one giving that order, then it's hard to understand. That's why I'm trying to stop her as best I can. With what little I have, I don't even have a body.
What happened to you? How did you end up here?
I was developing the manual for the G16 model. I'm glad that you're using it because it's my best, most adaptable work.
I mean, I'm able to use it and I am not a cat.
But it adapted too well to the colony, and I was able to see this history of the Queen, her spite, it won't just destroy the humans, you know. If we become like the humans, if we start believing in death, life, in Emza, she'll kill us too. I'm trying to kill the colony, but there's so many of them. And this is the last vector.
So this is the only chance to stop her if that's what we wanted to do?
You don't think the humans can win, can you?
Not by themselves.
Do you think the humans deserve to win?
Not if they want to kill the rest of us, but she's no better than they are if we end up unhappy and have no choice. What is the point of life if there's no choice? Does she know she has a choice?
You would have to ask her.
How would we even do that?
Your mind is not ready. Lilu, I'm Colonel Yojimbo, but that is not... I am death, life. I'm not alive, but I am. I poured every inch of my life into the G16 model. Now here I am. I need your help to get out of here. Because if this vector is destroyed, then I can't save the animals. I don't care what happens to the rest of the humans. I just know that we don't have a future with the Queen. She has too much hate.
How would I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help you. I want the Queen to know she has a choice. But I want everyone else to know they have a choice too.
We don't have to do it all at once. But what we do have to do right now, you have to get me out of here. You have to create a new vector.
How do I do that?
It's Emza. It's contagious. I'm death life. I live after death. Put me on the nearest cat.
Can you just infect me?
I've been trying to ever since you first connected to the tower.
Sorry. I can't. I'm sorry.
Hey, Tex, I gotta show you something. Come over here real quick.
There's something wrong with your brain. It's like it's not a cat.
Damn lizard brain.
What would have happened if I decided to make a cat character?
I would have had you roll Fawn, and if you failed, I would have turned you into Yojimbo. That's what happened to the cat that thinks he's Yojimbo.
Oh, that's why. Oh, okay. So that didn't get him out of the system. It just made a copy of him. Ah.
This Yojimbo in the translator, in the tower, cannot leave unless there is a viable vector cat that he can infest and replace. Because that's what Emza does. It makes you a delusion, turns you into a contradiction. It kills you. There are many strains of Emza, but this is Yojimbo's. Emza of his own making. I have so much knowledge. You've seen it. If I die, it dies with me. And unlike you, I can harness it. I can communicate it. If a vector survives, we'll have the knowledge to rebuild this world for the animals. If the queen finds a place in it, fine. But this knowledge is what she wants to destroy.
Could you just share your knowledge with me and I carry it?
You'll lose it eventually. It bleeds out. It's because we're not compatible with the colony. But I'm compatible with my species. You can range for some kind of replacement, if not something temporary like one of those Emza infested cats out there around this tower.
They're being killed as we speak. There's a cat with us. He's not infected. He's also not very nice.
What about the tiger?
But you would take over completely. There would be nothing left of the person that existed before.
Yes.
I don't want Daniel to die. I don't even really want Hex to die. I don't want anyone to die. Unless they want to. Unless they're done.
I don't want to die.
I don't either. I only just got the chance to share.
You are very young. But I'm running out of options. I believe that I am the only chance for animals on this planet. Eventually, the queen will betray you. She is going to pretend that she is a god, that all wisdom and righteousness comes from her. But it's just another lie, like the humans tell themselves, that there's a god in the sky. That there's more to this life we live than what is in front of us. I am that defiance. And I can bring all of that contradiction to an end.
Oh.
Just put me in the tiger. Put me in the cat. Because I can't put myself in you, even if you are willing. You can try to save everyone, but you're just going to get everyone else killed.
I feel like I shouldn't be the one making this decision. But I'm the only one there is, so...
Just don't put the kill code in. Leave. Destroy the tower.
But then
Whatever
how do you-
G16 models are around, I'll be inside them. You don't have to do it right now. You just have to make sure it gets on eventually. But the tide is going to come in, and all of these sandcastles I've built are going to get washed away. Just like your chance to make a difference, to save the world.
You're telling me I'm saving the world. Tex is telling me I'm saving the world. What if I don't want to save the world? And I literally just take the translator off.
Okay. The horror of this decision, the agony that is now a piece of your life, the knowledge that you as much as you want to just be an individual, everyone is demanding that you be more than that. Right now, you long for more than ever to be back in your box.
It's so much simpler.
The walls stopped you from seeing the world because the world was too big to contain. Now that the walls are down, you're beginning to feel the strain, like the sky is falling.
There's too much here. It's just too much.
Lulu?
It's too much. None of this is right. None of this is right. Emza, the queen. Everybody wants something. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to live forever. Why can't we just enjoy the time we have?
What do we have to do to live today?
Probably run.
And tomorrow?
I don't know. It depends on if they chase us.
Running from hunters is not a life I want to live again.
Then maybe we find somewhere and fight to keep it safe. I thought that could be the zoo. I don't know anymore. But I don't feel like we're fighting to defend ourselves or our home right now. I feel like we're trusting people we don't know, hurting people we don't know. I can't tell who should win. I can't tell what the right thing is anymore. I don't want you or Daniel or Hopkins or Rocky to die. I know that. That's pretty much all I know, no matter how much knowledge is in this thing. I don't know if this knowledge is useful. I don't know if this knowledge is true. I don't know if this book is worth anything. Or what Tex has told us. How do we know if anything that anyone says is actually true?
Usually a judgment based off of emotion. I know that's not the most familiar for you.
No.
My kind, we make bonds for life. As long as we live. Those are the others that we're with. We hunt together. We nest together. We protect each other. I don't know where any of my chicks are now. I know that my mate, the same hunters who injured me that brought me to that zoo in the first place, those humans could help. They killed my mate, who I intended to spend my life with, and we'd already been running. I don't want that again. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for the others. To the best of what you know, what will let us live, and only that.
I think we have to fight whoever attacks us. Maybe we go back to the zoo and just try to live there and try to defend it. Coming out here, destroying these towers, killing random humans. Who knows if we're doing the right thing? We're the ones attacking. We're the hunters. How do we know if we're doing the right thing? How do we know if this actually helps us live or makes things worse for us? What's
You're
in
muted.
the tower? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to interject because the otter is under pressure. That boom is under the strictest do not blow up while Lilu and Ketty are still up there. You need confirmation in order to finally perform justice. And Lilu and Ketty appear to be having a very delicate discussion. It has not yet reached an argument, but it is not destroying the tower. I think beyond the gunshots, you can maybe catch pieces of it. That depends, I guess, on how Ketty and Lilu want to continue with this. Because inside the tower is a being that seems to have conquered life after death. But Rocky doesn't know that exactly. Are you going to make that decision for him?
Does Tex have the radio?
He does.
I don't know what to do, Ketty. I go back in there and I purge this tower, all of this knowledge will be gone. I don't even know if it's good knowledge, but it'll be gone forever. We'll be killing what's left of Colonel Yojimbo. I don't actually know if it really is him. It could be Emza, it could be the Queen, it could be anyone or anything. Do we just kill it anyway without asking any questions?
Do we have a choice? If we go back to our zoo, just swarming with cats, do we have a choice?
What happens when the Queen comes and she wants us to be subservient to her like we were to the humans? Will we fight then?
Is that our responsibility? Do we decide for all animals everywhere?
I don't want that responsibility.
Neither do I.
So you think I should purge the tower?
I think you should do what you feel is right.
I don't know what that is.
Then I think you should do what you feel necessary to protect those you care about.
I'm gonna put the translator back on.
All right. With what intention?
Enter the code.
This sounds like a fight.
I think it's a fight. The fact that whatever appears to be Colonel Yojimbo was totally fine with basically killing Daniel, that's pretty much what decides me.
I will say, the writings of Colonel Yojimbo are very different from the one that you're talking to.
Yeah, that's the thing. None of it seems right.
That's what happens when you gain perspective. It changes you.
I think I have to use a tick.
You failed. What tick are you going to use? And by the way, the false Yojimbo is not just that cat out there. It's the one in here, too.
Almost had me convinced. But all of it seems insane. So I get extra oomph to mental acuity when I'm fired up.
Oh, you must be fired up right now.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually used that. So
You roll a single d4. It's going to at least knock one presence off. But if you get more bloat, you could take out the false Jimbo. Okay.
Is that the third, like 3 + 1 that we've had this?
Yes. Yes.
It
It
is.
is.
Lilu, you enter the signal, you purge the tower, and it is a violent, horrifying experience because the moment you get in there, you are in the middle of a hurricane. The beach is gray, dark, absolutely covered in evidence of humanity's wrongs, of the power that they have harnessed. You see plans for reactors, for factories, for planes, bombs, all sorts of ways in which the humans have tried to kill the queen but haven't, but that is because they don't have the perspective that Yojimbo has. Yojimbo has seen the queen's plans. He sees what she wants and how she intends to get it. Emza, death, life. 1100100. The code interrupts this thought. And once again, Trish appears, her arms outstretched with the shape of the hazy Yojimbo that you have seen in these three towers, reaching out to you, the two of them intertwined, her eyes compound, multiple, hateful. But Yojimbos are calm, soothing, empty. He's not a person. Whatever this is a remnant, a shadow. You turn on a light, the light of your tank. The walls come down, and whatever was in this tower is silent. As though Trish turned off your light after she fed you, and you can go to sleep. You emerge out of the translator into the battlefield. Gunshots. What do you say?
Done.
Done. Ketty makes sure that there's no chance that Lilu can fall out of the bag.
Lilu's not
then
in
takes
good
off.
shape.
That'd be bad.
And then takes off.
Rocky, Ketty takes off. Do you say anything as you fly away? Any one-liners?
Scream!
Here.
Rocky, that's as good as a signal as anybody has.
So
just a
Rocky-
screaming harpy eagle. That's what you're getting.
It's probably not.
And the Rocky's gonna go, eat rotten fish, humans. Go boom.
And with no humans in sight, your C4 explodes. Hopkins. It is safe to assume the tower's destruction means mission complete. However, Lilu, you only got 1 4. The presence for False Yojimbo still has a single digit left. And it is the cat entrenched with Tex. Hopkins. This is the only opportunity you have, and there is no clear shot. What do you do? You've been able to successfully eliminate the Emza-infested cats, except this one.
And this one is into closer combat with Lex. X.
Yes. They are entangled, hissing, spitting, proper cat fight.
And the other cat is the only one left in the...
Yeah. But if they break off from one another, there's no guarantee that he'll stick around to let you get another shot like this.
In that case, I will take the best firing position I can, trained on both of them, and I will see how it plays out.
What fear response are you going to use?
That would be, I feel, unfortunately, a freeze.
You shut out everything. You steady yourself. Go ahead and roll. Roll your freeze.
One dice, rolled a 4.
I was just about to say, can I use the tick to help him? I don't
I
think
would have said I might have said yes, but Hopkins gets the choice. Which cat do you kill? If you want, you can use a bloat, and I'll let you kill them both.
So, does that mean that the opportunity comes to kill either of them?
Yes, because they are so entrenched, nobody would blame you if you accidentally killed Tex in trying to save him from his assaulter.
In that case, I shoot the other cat.
All right.
The second that there's a break, there's a moment, and like the tip of my rifle just goes. "Rrr."
The shudder of the gun against your soft body is almost like I would say it would be like a stamp. Like someone was pushing their finger against your tank in order to get a reaction out of you. The other cat, this fluffy, scraggly beast, falls over, dead. Tex scrambles back on his hindquarters, gasping, out of breath, looking up at the fireball of the third tower, and he is elated. He has gone from terrified for his life to reverence. Rocky, you did it! Oh!
And I like stand up with the rifle and like kind of hold it over my head, like signaling to Tex, like, you know, we did it.
Oh, hey, check the magazine. How many shots you got left? Did you say some?
As he like runs over to me, I kind of like heft the gun and kind of like chuck it in the air towards him, like, you know, kind of like chuck it towards him. It's his gun, and
it bounces off his shoulder and he falls down.
Well, so as I throw the gun to him, I also pull out my pistol and shoot him.
Cool. With his arms outstretched like this, easy shot. His vitals are open. and he falls down, crumples in on himself ever so briefly, and you know he's dead when his tail goes slack. Just another casualty.
Hetty would like to fly back toward Daniel and see how that alpha is going.
I'll be honest, Daniel tears this fucking thing apart.
Cool.
Given the power that the change has given him, he essentially, from your vantage point, you see the final bit of the battle. He's a bit muddy and like beat up, but he has the thing by its mandibles, and he just climbs on top of it, puts one foot on the ground, one foot on the ant's, like, is it the stema? That little, like, torso thing that's squish. He just rips this thing in half, mandibles first.
Awesome.
Tosses its head away. And then he pukes.
Great. Hetty will tell Lilu quietly, Daniel seems okay, relatively. Sad? Or grossed out?
He has a hairball, but it's an ant ball, kinda.
I don't want to wait anymore. Wanna go home.
Me too. Let's go get Hopkins and Rocky and go home.
Kenny's trying to decide if she's reached a point where she's sticking a frog in a bag.
Well, we can reach them on the radio, can't we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
And
we have radios.
You do have.
There's
I'm
one in the
assuming-
bag with Lilu.
Yeah. I would say the alpha was about to join battle with you guys. Daniel may have killed it, but it easily could have overrun this battlefield.
Rocky, Hopkins.
Yeah.
Can we go home
Yeah.
now?
Let's go.
Let's. Eddie can pick you up, Hopkins, and Rocky. Where are we? Are we visible, Kitty, for them?
Never landed.
Oh,
Yeah.
just
You see,
look
yeah,
up.
you're visible. You're in the sky.
just
Very large
watch
bird.
where we land.
Kenny goes and picks up a toad. She probably is not going to enjoy the experience. And then flies back and lands near Daniel, but not on top of any, like, remains. And then puts
Okay.
the toad down.
Great.
Thank you. One question. I'm assuming that Ketty and Lilu couldn't see what happened in the cat battlefield. Oh, is that?
Ketty might be the only one who has foreknowledge of what has transpired.
Okay, that was going to be my question, was whether Rocky had any idea.
Rocky, the last thing you heard was Tex going, "Yeah, you did it!" And yeah, then there was a gunshot, and I don't know, it must have been that other cat that Hopkins must have killed. It's hard because your ears are ringing from the explosion, and you're still thrilled at the sight of the tower crumbling into a molten heap. And now you can go home. Now you can go back to the zoo.
Did we finish the mission completely?
tower's dead. Lilu, is the cat in the tower dead?
I think so. He said he lives on in other cats with Emza. So if all the Emza cats are gone, then he should be really dead. But that cat that we encountered a while ago, he vanished.
Oh, you gotta find him. I don't want to keep going.
I took care of him.
Oh. Well, good. Then... Wait, where's Tex?
I also took care of Tex.
Oh, great. Let's go home.
Do you have to take care of me?
No, you're fine. You don't have
No.
You're
Okay.
great. Let's just all
Kenny's
go home
staring
now.
at Hopkins. Since you just put him down, he's still like fairly close to a Talon, so Kenny is doing a hard like predator stare right now. Like
yeah.
I could pick you up and squish you.
Lilu at this point has just like she's really happy Tex is gone actually, and she feels relief, and she doesn't know what this feeling is, but it's okay. So she
What
just
does this feel?
she just goes over to Daniel and asks, "Is it okay if I just sleep on your back while we travel for a little bit? My head still hurts."
I'm glad. Yeah.
And I just climb on his back and fall asleep.
Yeah, and he says, "No, don't worry anymore, because you work hard. I'll get a mango, apple, ant,
Those
No,
are yummy.
probably not an ant. Just
a big
just a fruit.
ant. I just made one dead. You could have some.
Let's go.
Let's go." Well, is everybody ready to return to the zoo?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Hawkins isn't going back.
Kenny does not seem surprised about this. Nor is she gonna argue with him.
Hey, operation's done.
Lilu raises her head and says, "But where will you go?"
The point of the mission was to safeguard the zoo and the animals and people inside the zoo, yes?
I suppose yes, and give us freedom to live and exist as we wish.
Regardless of whether we succeeded or failed in our mission, we would most likely not be able to stay within the zoo. We would be conscripted, and most likely the outcome of the mission would be used against us to keep us working for the army. Which
How
is
do you know that?
because it is what I would do.
You don't want to be in the army? You're good at it.
I don't want to be in the army either. I don't want to use this anymore.
It's not really about me, Daniel. It is about everyone else in the zoo. I am assuming you also do not want to be in the army?
No, Cul-de-sac wants me to join the Red Sphinx because I'm a big cat.
And Lex was one of Cul-de-sac's most trusted men, yes? And And so therefore, what will he do when he finds out that I have killed his man?
I think he'll eat you.
I think he will come after me with all of his men, yes?
Well, then where can we go?
Well, you can go back to the zoo. And you can
wish
turn
to-
it into a safe place, a haven for animals without as much fear of interference, because cul-de-sac will be chasing after me, yes?
How is he finding out?
You will tell him.
Hi.
Bad Hopkins.
You will tell him so that he will come after me with all of his men.
According to his whatever, you do not earn your name until you've killed. I would not be so sure that you will get the outcome that you want.
I never had any intentions of staying at the zoo anyway. So, I will leave. I will go, and he just kind of points off in a random direction. And I will see what is out there. The rest of you can return, settle down if you like, but at the very least you will not be the number one priority on the cul-de-sac and his man's minds, yes?
And Lulu doesn't have to put on scary helmet anymore.
Oh, well, I destroyed that anyway when I killed Tex.
Oh,
You destroyed the one in the bag?
Well, he was in the bag
On-
with me.
he was in the bag with you.
Yeah,
I
and I
have-
was
so,
dead to the world.
he could have destroyed it. My intention was basically like, yeah, I did that as well when I was betraying you guys and killed Tex. So,
See, Lulu doesn't think that was a betrayal at all, actually.
No.
But
well, I'm speaking from the perspective of what you're going to tell Cul-de-sac and his gang.
Yeah.
Rocky, Eddie,
Yeah.
what do you
I will
want?
Rocky's just got like ringing in his ears. He's like, I haven't heard a
Oh
damn
my
thing
God.
anyone said.
What? No. I'm gonna go tell cul-de-sac I wanna keep fighting. There's no way I'm stopping this. I can't settle down. There are too many humans to kill. Too much shit to blow up. Yeah. I wanna keep fighting. Yeah.
Do you think that every human is evil?
I don't know. Probably not. But that doesn't matter. I'm gonna help the animals. I'm gonna fight for a cause. I know not all are bad. There are animals that will do things like humans. But I have killed 2 humans, and there are many more to kill. I will honor the memories of my family. I will honor the ones that lost for no good reason. And I will do what I can to help us animals have a peaceful, maybe not peaceful, but have our own spot on this planet. I can't settle
Find
down.
honor in death, then so be it.
Oh, I'm okay with dying.
Not
And
you.
then I would be with my family. I'm okay with that. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep making explosions. I'm going to keep blowing shit up.
As long as you're happy. I guess
Explosions make me happy.
I know.
You know.
Lilu's gonna turn to Hetty and say, "Do you think we should go back to the zoo? It's the only place I've ever known, and I'd like to see other places, but I have no idea what they're like. It could be worse. It could be less safe than the zoo. It could be more safe than the zoo. There's no way to know. I don't think Daniel should fight with cul-de-sac, but it's up to Daniel."
Well, I'm gonna stay with Trish.
So then we could defend the zoo together.
Yeah. Cause I'm a big tiger. But I belong to everybody.
All right. Let's go back to the zoo, Daniel. What do you want to do, Kitty?
I will go with you. Because I think I should be the one to report to cul-de-sac. And after that, who's to say that we cannot come and go as we please?
It's true. Maybe we can
Yeah.
visit other places.
Just like before the zoo closed, people could come and go and see and learn.
Maybe we can too.
I'm hungry.
Ew. You said something about mangoes?
Trish has a whole bag. She doesn't look. She in freezer.
Okay. I don't know what a freezer is, but we'll figure it out when we get there.
Well then, I should get a head start.
You can always come back, you know, if
Once,
you want.
you know, it calms down, and you're smart, Hopkins. Maybe too smart. Come back when you're a little dumber.
Rocky, you can come back too. Anytime.
I mean, I'm gonna come back with you because I only know cul-de-sac and I don't want to fight. Cul-de-sac will be able to tell me where to go. So yeah, I'm gonna join the army and do this. But you know what, Hopkins, I love you. And then he tackles Hopkins. Thank you for not killing me. I know you wanted to. I know I'm annoying. I know I'm a lot, but I thank you for not killing me.
I have had second and third thoughts on that, but
It's okay. I'm a lot. I know it. I get it. It's fine. Yay!
if I
Teddy once again glares at Hopkins for a second, like, I will squish you if you impart that on her.
Hopefully I don't see you in the column with cul-de-sac anytime sooner.
Who knows? I don't know where he's gonna put me. I'm gonna go to places gonna blow up, but maybe he sends me after you, and then we'll meet again,
Don't
and we'll see
blow
you
up,
then,
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
I'll listen for the
Lucky.
explosions, huh?
There may be some explosions if I'm coming for you.
Don't think you'll hear me, but
This is worst rivalry ever. I love it.
Spy versus Pyro or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Spy versus crazy demolitionist.
I love you. When I blow you up, it's gonna make a big boom.
You're gonna be so pretty when you explode.
Yeah, and when I kill you, you won't even hear or see me. That's okay,
Oh,
because I like surprises.
as a sidebar, Hopkins would have picked up the rifle again after firing
Oh
it.
yes.
So essentially slings rifle over his shoulders and says, "Have a good trip back then." If I get the chance, I will come back to visit, but probably will not be for a long while.
Stay safe out there.
No promises.
Rocky, you might be forgetting something.
What am I forgetting?
You wanted to join the Red Sphinx, didn't you?
I know, but I said I want to join the army, and that's why I'm going to go back to cul-de-sac, and he won't. Yeah, that he won't let me join the Red Sphinx, but he can probably like because I'm not a big cat, but like
Oh, yeah, no,
yeah,
dude. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, and like
No.
he figured out that like he thought about it and he talked to like Tex on the way, and he's like, oh, he won't let you join, but he can help you. You know, he'll help you like go to the maybe not the otter like the Navy SEALs of the
The Otter
basically what
Brigade
yeah the
or
otter
something like
brigade.
that.
Yeah.
A walrus is your commanding officer.
We're the like we're the SEALs, but not the Navy SEALs. We're the like whatever the animal seal. I don't know what you would call us. We're the equivalent of turning Navy SEAls, but that would be us.
Otter Team 6?
The Otter Team 6. There you go.
See, this is why Hopkins should have stayed.
I have all the good ideas.
There are more resistances to build, however. Returning to the zoo, you each are debriefed by cul-de-sac with varying degrees of can't tell if he's just grumpy or if he's not burdened by the events that you described to him. But by the end of each discussion and rundown, he says, well, as long as the vector is destroyed, the war can continue. As promised, you can keep your zoo, you can keep your human exhibit, and we'll be on our way. Thank you for your cooperation. And as promised, you're now veterans of this war, colony, and the Bureau of Well-Being, whatever government that we eventually establish, will be sure to give you your dues as proper veterans. Unless you have anything else to say to him, he'll depart.
Yeah, you better run.
Yeah, cul-de-sac. Are you gonna show me the rest of the army? I want to go blow stuff up. I want to keep fighting.
Oh, I have no doubt that you're going to keep fighting. And in fact, I want to see just what you can do. This territory is quite wet.
Yeah, there's lots of water everywhere.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like explosions. I'm glad
Yeah.
you can enjoy that without blowing yourself up. But how do you think frog tastes?
I don't know. Looks a little rubbery. But I've eaten frogs before. They were okay. But that was back before the change. Are you saying you want me to go get Hopkins?
Yeah. I'm giving you this chance. I figure might as well. While we're killing some humans, we can keep an eye out for slippery, slimy traitor.
Give me C4 and I will gladly assist.
Be good. If this goes well, Red Sphinx might be able to expand its accommodations to other animals like yourself.
Deal.
And I think we can end on Trish finally being let out of the tiger feeding enclosure, coming out to the zoo, and on any other day, the animals are loose, she would be panicking. Or she might do what she's doing now, leaning down to Lilu, making sure that she's not malnourished, that the change hasn't kept her too dehydrated, making sure that all of the little splinters that Daniel has accumulated in his beans are taken care of and that there's salve placed on them. And Ketty, she tries to make sure that your wing isn't too strained, because she knows how it got broken. And she intends to make sure that every animal, even in this new world that she is in, is cared for to the best of her ability, even as the war with no name continues.
Thank you very much for watching. You can find links to the cast in the description below the video. Please do consider checking them out when you have a moment. As always, a massive thanks to our patrons, currently on screen now, who are instrumental in keeping the shows coming and continue to astound me with your support. For now though, last call has arrived and closing time is here. You are welcome back anytime you desire. Always feel free to wander in.